I've been through burnout so quietly that I didn't recognize it until I was about to give up on everything I had. I lost myself so completely inside all of the roles I was playing: a mother, wife, educator, worker, supporter, the one who holds everything together. That when I finally had a moment to ask what I actually want, I didn't know. I genuinely had no idea. So that's the conversation we're having today. This isn't a hype speech, not a 12-step system, just real stuff that worked for me and what I genuinely believe can work for you. Because the way out of this is not complicated, but it does require you to be honest, to take ownership, and to decide that you are not going to keep waiting for life to change around you. That decision is everything. The first thing I want to say is that the problem is probably not what you think it is. When you're unmotivated, when you're stuck, when you know you want more but cannot seem to get moving. So, the easy conclusion you come to is that something is completely wrong with you, that you're lazy, that you don't have what it takes, that other people have some kind of drive or discipline that you were just born without. That is not what's happening. You've lost the thread of your why. Somewhere underneath all the ideas, all the plans, all the noise of daily life and other people's expectations, you lost connection to the real reason any of it matters to you. And when that connection breaks, nothing on the surface works. Not the planners, not the new routine, not the motivational content. Motivation isn't a personality trait. It's not something some people have and others don't. It's a response. It's what happens naturally when your actions are connected to something that genuinely matters to you. When that connection is real and clear, you don't have to force the motivation. It shows up. You're energized and excited. When it's gone, you can try everything and still feel nothing. Here's the other thing I want to say before we go on any further, because this is where the high agency piece starts. There is a version of this story where you stay stuck waiting for the feeling to come back on its own, waiting for the right moment, waiting until life gets a little easier, the kids get a little older, the circumstances line up just right. That version doesn't end. The waiting doesn't stop on its own. Nobody is coming to hand you the motivation. Nobody is going to rearrange your life so that it's finally convenient for you to start. That is not how this works. High agency means you decide. You move first. You act before you feel ready, because ready is a feeling that follows action, not one that precedes it. The research is clear on this, and so is the lived experience. You don't wait until you feel like it. You take one step, even a small one, and the feeling follows. When you're truly disconnected from your why, your purpose, even that first step feels pointless. So before we talk about action, we have to do the deeper work. We have to find the real why, your why, because that is the root everything else grows from. So here's what I've been doing that can help you. Get a journal or open a note on your phone, whatever works easiest. Clear out all the borrowed purpose. Before you can find your real why, you have to identify all the whys that aren't actually yours. Write down what you think you're supposed to want, not what you think you're supposed to want, what your family expects of you, what social media says success looks like. Get it all out of your head and onto the paper or note on your phone. Then look at each one and ask, is this actually my why? Do I really want these things? Did I absorb this from somewhere else? A huge part of what's exhausting you right now isn't the work itself, it's the weight of carrying goals that were never really yours to begin with. You get to put those down gently without guilt. They were never yours to carry or move forward with. Now, once you've cleared some of that out, you go back to the moments in your life when you felt genuinely alive, not happy necessarily, fully present, completely absorbed, where time disappeared and you weren't performing for anyone. You were just in it. For me, it was real conversations and content I have learned from. the kind where I could feel something shift, where I'd walk away more energized than when I started. That was a clue I ignored for years because I didn't think it was anything. Your moments will look different. Maybe it was creating something, teaching something, solving a problem nobody else could see, being outside, writing, building, connecting. Write those moments down and look for the thread underneath them. Not the activity itself, but what it gave you, what it meant, how it made you feel. That thread is pointing directly at your real why. Then ask yourself this question. Really sit with it. If 5 years from now, your kids remembered one thing about who you were during the season, not what you achieved, not what you build, but who you were and how you showed up, what do you want that one thing to be? When I sat with that question at my lowest point, I didn't think about goals or outcomes. I thought about my kids watching me, what it would mean for them to see their mom display strength and resilience, to figure out what she was made of, to refuse to let the heart be the end of things. That was my real why. And the moment it became clear, I felt a major shift, enough to take the next step. That's all you need right now. Not the whole staircase, just the next step. High agency people don't wait for the full plan. They move on what they know and they figure out the rest as they go. Now, I want to talk about the wall because this is the part of my story I think matters most and the part most people skip over. I hit a wall, the kind where you cannot keep going the way you were going no matter how hard you try. Especially for capable, driven women, hitting that wall feels like failure. So we try to push through it. And when we can't, we shame ourselves for hitting it. I did both. Tried to push through it. Couldn't, then spent time feeling deeply ashamed of that. Like I'm a failure. The wall is not the end of the road, it's a redirect. It's resistance, and resistance is good. It showed up because something needed to change: the pace, the direction, the reason, the way I was treating my own capacity like it had no limit. The wall didn't stop me. It saved me from continuing in a direction that was going to break me completely. The wall is only a redirect if you let it teach you something. If you fight it, if you shame yourself for hitting it, if you treat it as evidence that you don't have what it takes, you miss the message entirely. High agency doesn't mean you never stop. It means when you stop with intention. You ask what this is telling you. You look honestly at what needs to change, and then you decide what happens next. You don't let the wall decide for you. For me, stopping looked like doing almost nothing for a stretch of time that felt irresponsible and terrifying. And slowly, quietly, things started to become clear: what actually mattered, what I'd been doing out of genuine desire versus what I'd been doing out of fear. And then the rebuild started. It was one small, tiny action every single day, consistently, without demanding that it feels meaningful yet. Some days it was just reading a few book pages or going outside. Some days it was just choosing to believe, even when I couldn't feel it, that I was someone who kept going. Every action you take is a vote for the kind of person you are. And what small, consistent actions do over time is getting enough votes that your identity quietly shifts. You become someone who shows up, not because you're disciplined, but because you showed up enough times that your brain started believing that's just who you are. That is high agency living, not grand gestures, not perfect execution, just consistent, honest, forward motion, even when it's slow and hard at times. Slow is not failure. Slow is how real change happens. We just need to be patient. Here's something I kept coming back to through the whole rebuild, and I still come back to it now. Finding your why is one thing, keeping it is the ongoing work. Because life is loud, the days are full, and it is incredibly easy to do all of the right things for 2 weeks and then slowly drift back to autopilot without even noticing. I needed something tangible, something that showed up in my physical world and made me actually stop and come back to myself. A real intentional break from the noise. That's exactly why I created a snail mail club called Your Paper Post. Every month, a real letter lands in your mailbox, written for real women, the busy moms who are still growing, still building, still showing up for the life she actually wants. Not a newsletter, not a notification, a real letter you hold in your hands, along with journal prompts designed to get you thinking deeply about your purpose and your next step. Also includes art that doesn't ask anything of you except to pause and breathe. Your paper post is built around action and intention. It's for the women who wants to slow down and break from the digital noise, even just for a few minutes a month. The one who is done waiting for the right moment and wants to move toward her goals and show her family, her kids, what it looks like to be a woman who builds things on purpose. We all need a consistent reminder. We all need something that pulls us back to our why when life buries it again. The difference is having something that helps you find it faster. Please subscribe to your paper post. The link is in the description below. Let's talk about what you can do every day to stay connected to your why. This is where the high agency mindset becomes high agency behavior. And behavior is what changes your life. The first practice is the morning why check. 2 minutes before you look at your phone, ask yourself, why does today matter to me? Who am I showing up for? Asking becomes automatic. This one practice, 2 minutes, one question, changed the quality of my days more than anything else I've tried. The second practice is journaling. End of the day for 5 minutes. Write one honest thing about where you are right now, not a gratitude list, one true thing. I felt completely lost today. Write it. What this builds over time is a real record of your inner life. When you read back through it, even after a few weeks, you see patterns. You see what's filling you and what's draining you. You see your own why getting clearer in the evidence of your actual daily experience. And you see proof that you are moving, even on days it doesn't feel like it. The third practice is the weekly purpose pulse. Once a week, ask yourself 3 questions. What did I do this week that connected to my real why? What pulled me away from it? What's one thing I'll protect next week? Just a quick, honest check so you catch the drift before it becomes a crisis. High agency people stay self aware. They check in with themselves regularly and they adjust. They don't wait until everything falls apart to course correct. Here's how you know if these practices are working and why measuring your own progress matters more than most people realize. High agency people don't just act, they assess and reassess. They look at what's happening and they use that information to keep going or adjust. At the end of every week, rate yourself honestly on 3 things. Clarity. How connected did I feel to my purpose this week? Was I operating from my why or just reacting? Action. Did I take at least one small daily step toward what matters most? Just be real. Presence. Was I actually here with my kids, with myself, with my life, or was I on autopilot? Look at those numbers week over week. Up means it's working. Flat is a signal. Down is information. Adjust and keep going. That's the whole move. See it, own it, adjust. Small evidence counts. In fact, small evidence is the most trustworthy kind because it's real. It's facts. Look at where you were, look at where you are. And I promise you that if you do these practices, the 6 month version of you will look back at where she started and feel something she genuinely cannot feel right now in the middle of it. It's a quiet, honest kind of pride, the pride of someone who kept going, who decided her life was worth building on purpose. That feeling is coming. You just have to do the hard work to get there. And if I can do it, I know you can. I started this conversation by telling you I had every idea and zero motivation. The paralysis I had was real. The shame I had was also real. And the way out wasn't what I expected or experienced. It was stopping long enough to hear myself again, finding the real why underneath all the noise, and choosing every single day, even on the hard ones, to take one small, honest action in the direction of the life I actually wanted. That's a choice every day, and it's yours to make. If you're a mom, your kids are watching you figure this out. And that might be the most powerful why of all. Not because you need to perform your comeback for them, but because watching you choose yourself, build on purpose, and refuse to let hard circumstances write your ending teaches them something no school or book ever could. It teaches them that getting lost is not the end, that strong people don't wait to be rescued, they rebuild, that who you are matters more than what you're going through. That is a gift worth passing to generations. And if you want support in this process that helps you stay connected, a personal letter, journal prompts, and art to remind you to slow down and come back to yourself, your paper post is for you. It's for the women who is done waiting for someday, who is ready to do the work now in her real life, in real time. I hope you found this content helpful and valuable. Please support this channel with a like and a subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.